For our project, we did the Shatter Me series by Sahara Mafi.
I had the first book, which was Shatter Me.
I had the second book, Unravel Me. I had the third book, which was Ignite Me.
Welcome to Chapter Chat. Today we're talking about Shatter Me, which is Antoine's book. Antoine, you want to give us an introduction?
Yeah. So pretty much, the book is centered around this girl named Juliet. To where from a very young age, she developed a very rare superpower slash curse. So the color of her skin was pretty much toxic to the touch. And it would hurt to touch anybody else. If you touch her, even just bumping into her can cause excruciating pain. And if you touch her too long, you die. And her parents, realizing what their daughter turned into, besides the fact they neglected her already, even without the power, they thought this was like, man, it's like sure they basically made her seem like an abomination, sent her to a crazy person asylum. And it was really rough for her because it kind of drove her a little crazy.
Yeah, what was life like in the asylum?
So pretty much she spent 264 days alone in a very, very tiny box. Pretty much, it wasn't that big of a cell. It had like a very tiny window in it. She had a broken pen, a diary, a slab of cement to sleep on, a rundown cot, if you will, and a very, very irregular schedule, like her food and stuff like that, and what to eat because they didn't want her to know what time it was. And then she was alone all the time until she met a guy named Adam, who we love, by the way.
What's Adam doing in the asylum?
Adam was sent on this mission by the reestablishment to basically look after her by the leader of Sector 45, right? By Sector 45. He's very, very, at first he's not very kind to her because he kind of ignores her when she tries speaking to him. He kicks her off half of the side of her slab of cement, refuses to say his name for a little bit while she tries talking to him, and yeah, pretty much, yeah, that's that, yeah.
And what happens after? Like, does Adam kick her out of the asylum? What goes on?
So yeah, they do eventually escape. Not escape. He basically takes her out of the asylum, and then takes her to meet this guy named Warner. He's basically he has two different pronunciations of names, but he's still a piece of shit. Period. So you can just call it that if you know what to say. He is a leader of Sector 45, which is a part of what his father rules over.
Who's his father and what does he rule over?
His father is
Paris Anderson,
okay,
I think.
So his dad's name is Anderson. He basically leads the entire reestablishment over North America, and his son is what he rules over like a sector of it. So
He already answered my question. Well, so like while she's there, like what's going on? Like how is her interaction with other people? Like what is she doing here?
So she's here because out of so the Warner guy that's something about, he is fascinated by her and her curse because he wants to use her to be like his personal torture weapon and to torture people pretty much.
Why does he want to torture people? Like who are they?
So they're fighting against like the rebels of the reestablishment, and that's why he wants to like torture them.
Hold on. Oh, he's ready. Aaron's ready. Okay, we'll come get you. Thank you so much, Mr. Aaron Warner, for joining our podcast. So what is it like being such a successful commander of Sector 45?
Oh, you know, it's great. We're very military based, don't touch me. We're very military based, very organized, like, you know, keep everyone in line because I'm just such a great leader. You know, they all respect me. They don't scare of me.
Okay, I really like your outfit today. Do you want to give me some intel about your style, what you're wearing?
Yeah, me too, because it's like, it looks really good. It's giving like, is it Gucci or Louis? Because I saw a similar set to that at the Gucci store.
Disrespect me like that again, we're gonna have issues.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Warner. I'm so sorry. I should have known better.
My jacket and pants are from my custom tailor, and the shirt, I made it myself. You know, I'm just that talented and great.
Yeah, it looks great. I noticed that it says I love Juliet. Why is this Juliet girl here?
She's here because I'm using her I need her as a weapon for those rebels.
Ooh, what kind of weapon?
To keep them in line, get them under my father's rule, because we can't have any of that to destroying our plan for the reestablishment.
Oh, I like that.
So, are you romantically interested in Juliet?
No comment.
Yeah, because like, how is she adjusting now to the new role? Because I heard that she's kind of cuckoo.
Welcome to Chapter Chat. Today we're talking about Unravel Me, which is the second book in the Shatter Me series, and it's Sam's book. And you want to get started?
Yeah, so basically Unravel Me opens up with Juliet and James and Kenji and Adam all going to Omega Point.
What's Omega Point?
It's basically the rebel base trying to fight against the reestablishment with other like super people like Juliet.
Speaking of Juliet, how are her and Am doing?
They're a little rocky right now. There's a couple issues, you know, they're not doing too great.
What are the issues? Like, what's causing such a strain in their relationship?
So Juliet's trying to focus on her controlling and trying to use her powers, and Adam doesn't like how independent she's getting, while he's also trying to figure out how to use his own powers and get control of that.
So are these powers like a new thing for Adam, or they've always been there? Like, what are they?
They were recently revealed like the end of the last book, and basically what he can do, he can absorb other people's powers, but it takes a really heavy toll on him. So Juliet's been really upset because he's basically hurting himself every time he's around her.
Yeah, what does this mean for the relationship? Like, what happens?
They fight and fight some more and fight a little bit more, and then eventually she just breaks it off, and a couple times actually, and he doesn't really like that.
Yeah, and then what follows their breakup? Like, what happens next in the story?
She tries to focus on herself again, and then she eventually goes on her first mission with Omega Point.
And why are they like fighting? Why is the mission? What's the mission?
It's basically just a supply run. They're going out to like the city in Sector 45 to get food, medical supplies, stuff like that.
What happens on this mission? Like, what's the outcomes? Anyone injured? Like, you know.
not really, but while Juliet's exploring an alley, she kind of went off in the group. She sees Warner petting a little puppy in an alley, but Kenji comes along and turns him into forget.
Yeah, what happens after that?
They kidnap Warner. They kidnap him. There's really no sugarcoating it. They do for leverage against Anderson.
And like, what do they do with him? Like, why he's at Omega Point?
While he's there, they essentially assign Juliet to interrogate him because they know because they need his information and what he can provide against the reason.
Why is Juliet the one who is doing the interview?
Because they know she's the only one who can really get through to him because he like her a little bit, But yeah, that's pretty much the only reason why.
And what's the outcome of their interview? Like, what happens?
Well, they flirt a little bit. She gets to know him more and like they talk, and he brings back out her journal that she left that he took, and reveals that he reads it in his spare time because who wouldn't? And they have their little moments,
Like, what happens in their little moments? Like,
So basically, they kiss, but she ruins it.
oh gosh. And like, what does he do? Like, how does he react to that?
He's not happy, I feel like he's rightfully upset about that, And so he tells her to get out, and she does. He's gone the next morning.
So he just escapes?
Yeah, pretty much, and no one knows where he went, and that's a really big problem because he could be gone now.
Thank you so much, Adam, for coming onto our show. We appreciate you being here. We're just going to ask you some questions. Antoine, want to get us started?
So, how was the breakup between you and Juliet?
What breakup? Literally, what breakup? I don't know who keeps saying it's a breakup. Who keeps saying it's a breakup? Oh, it's a fight. It's just a fight. We haven't broke up. She literally never said we broke up. That's literally not what happened.
Right, just a fight, right. Let me rephrase that then. How is your current relationship with Juliet going?
I don't know. She's been weird. She's being weird. She's always weird, but like she's being extra weird now. And I think it's because they brought Warner here. It's her. It's him. It's always him. He's always.
So, what do you think about Warner being here? Like, I've heard rumors that him and Juliet are getting kind of close.
I think it's unnecessary. I literally don't know why they brought him here. He's just gonna cause trouble. Oh, that's all he ever does. All he ever does is just cause trouble and ruin everything. That's all he ever does. That is all he ever does. That's all he ever.
Sam, you want to continue for it?
Yep. So after Warner escapes, they get word of an attack on Omega Point. So they're all about to go out and deal with that. They have spies that brought back because someone snitched.
And what do they do with this information?
They go out before the reestablishment could reach Omega Point because there's so many like people who camp like there, like families and children. So they go out to try and stop them first.
And does it work?
Well, that's the thing. That's the real question there. Not really. They find a bunch of tanks around a house, and so they go in there to investigate because it's kind of odd.
And what do they find in the house?
Anderson. He's chilling there. He was waiting. He was waiting for them. And wouldn't you know, I guess who's with him? Warner.
And what are they doing in there?
Waiting for them so they can kill off Juliet and all of them all at once.
Do they? Like, what happens in the house?
They fight, pew pew, bang bang, the whole deal. But Juliet ends up shooting Anderson in the head, and we think he's dead. And then Adam comes in to rescue Juliet.
And at that point, like, it's just Juliet and Adam in the house?
Yeah, Warner disappeared. We don't really know where he went. So it's just them.
And like, what do they do? Like, do they make a new game plan? What happens in the house?
Well, Adam starts having like a panic attack because he looks at Anderson's body on the ground and he goes, oh, wait, that's my dad.
Oh my god, so Adam and Warner are brothers.
Yes.
Oh my god.
But Warner doesn't know yet. Adam is the only one who knows because he recognized Anderson.
So now Warner's just disappeared.
He's gone. They don't try and find him because they're trying to get out of there, but they go out and there's a big explosion and Juliet passes out. And that's the end of the book.
Welcome to Chapter Chats. Today we're talking about the third book in the Shatter Me series, which was my book. It was Ignite Me. And so just a brief summary about that is it starts like where the previous book ended with the explosion, and she just wakes up in Warner's room. And he basically like was taking care of her and her injuries, and he explains that everyone from Omega Point is dead from the explosion. So he's kind of like looking after her and starting training with her powers because after this she just wants to be able to protect herself, like she wants to stay on her own. And so she's training her powers, and then they end up like she wants to go see the ruins of Omega Point, and they find Kenji there. And Kenji tells her that everyone from Omega Point is actually alive, and she wants to go see them. So she goes and she sees Adam, and all of them they're staying at Adam's house, and Adam realizes that she was staying with Warner, and he is very upset. He accuses her of cheating, like he's just distressed and kicks her out of the house. But at this point, this is like her only family, so she like goes with Kenji, and because Kenji's her little bestie, and she convinces them and Warner to let everyone that was staying at Adam's house move into Warner's base because it would be safer. And Adam and Juliet end up breaking up like for good, and then following his mom's death, Juliet and Warner get together. Juliet learns to control her powers, and so she can touch people and finally has like human interactions, and she makes friends with some of the girls, and she ends up becoming the Supreme Commander, and that's where the book ends because it's kind of like a filler book, like more like a setup for the next book, but we're not going to cover that.
So why did she become Supreme Commander?
Well, obviously Aaron was the most qualified, but he really, really hated his dad and did not want to be anything like him, so he did not want to step up. So Juliet ended up having like a little hero moment, and she ended up stepping up instead.
Queenie. Okay.
How's Adam doing?
Adam's not doing well in this book, honestly. Like he's very upset. He's very angry. He's just like so upset with Juliet, and he hates Warner, and like it's just awful.
Yeah. So you mentioned she could touch people now. What's going on with that?
Apparently, it was something she could control the whole time, but she didn't realize it. And like with Warner helping her, she like learns to control it, and so she can touch other people, not just the two who are like immune to her.
And so Juliet and Warner?
Yes,
No.
they finally get together. He's been pretty open about his feelings the entire time, but she's just really like focusing on other
Responsible
things,
last.
and she's like just feeling guilty, like because Adam was her first relationship and real human interaction ever, and he's like so upset and just guilt tripping her, so she just feels so bad about it. But she finally confesses her feelings for him, and he's obviously confesses way before this, and so they finally get together.
After his mom dies?
Right. So
Right. What's that about?
Ooh. So unfortunately, his mom was really sick, and Anderson, Warner's dad, did not want like this to be a sign of weakness within like his authority and his power. So she lives in like her own little house with like people to help her, like doctors and stuff. And Warner goes and he visits her, and so he goes to visit her, and she's gone, and she passed, and she's dead.
I'm assuming he was quite upset for.
He definitely was, because like he didn't really have like a great relationship with either of them, but like his mom was really nice to him, and so like when he gets home, like he's really upset, but Juliet does not follow social cues, and she's like, "This is a really great time," and she just kind of busts into his office and is like,
Oh, so it was like directly after.
pretty much,
Like
honestly,
right when they got home. Like,
pretty much like same day, like everything.
like
It was
hey, I know you're grieving. Let me pounce on you. Like
100%. She
okay.
just walked right into his office, and he was like, "Not right now," and she was like, "I love you," and it was great. It was great.
How did he react to that?
He was pretty conflicted, honestly. He was like in denial, like, "You don't mean that, like you're just saying that," like, and she just had to like keep saying it. He was like, "Say it again," like he was just kind of going through it, obviously at the moment, but
I don't blame him. I don't.
obviously it worked out because they got together.